And we're back for another fireside chat with your host, Jeff Captain K-Man Dens, and your other host, Forrest, the Raging Butterfly Dens. How you doing today, Forrest?
Good.
Good. You had some questions for me today?
Yeah. Are we going to talk about a little bit more about our day first? Because that's usually what we've been doing.
Oh, okay. We could talk a little bit more about our day. How was your day today?
Good. I had state tests. They weren't too hard. I mean, we had 35 multiple choice questions on about, I think, 3 or 4 passages. Or 5, I guess. And then tomorrow I have 6 short response and an essay to do. So it's good that we have 3 hours tomorrow. Like today, we only needed about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to check it over and really do it, but with thinking. Some people probably did in like 30 minutes without really, not really thinking it through completely, just putting it down because they think it is, and they don't change it.
Are there kids in your school that are opting out of this test?
Nobody in my class. Everybody took it in my class this year.
What do you think about the kids that opt out?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's their choice or their parents' choice.
Yeah, it's definitely their parents' choice. I don't remember being able to opt out for any tests for us, but I guess that's how it works these days. We just make our kids softer and softer. No mental toughness.
We can talk about that too.
We can talk about
what
that.
Dr. Krols was talking about.
Yeah.
How bad times make strong men and strong men make good times, which makes weak men and hard times again, and then those hard times make good men again. So he was kind of talking about a cycle, and it's kind of cool how that really does work.
Yeah, I think the quote was, hard times make strong men make good times make weak men make bad times make strong men again.
Yeah, and it just starts over.
Right.
And it makes sense, and it kind of does. Well, it's a longer period, but it's starting to happen, and it happened kind of gradually over the past 100 years.
Yeah, definitely. The World War II people were very, very tough compared to us today.
So are the World War I people.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about that a lot today. It was a good conversation, actually, for dinner.
Mhm.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was. I always enjoy going around Dr. Krols. We always have good talks like that.
Yeah.
Mhm. What else is going on?
Not much.
Did you bring in your draft?
Oh no, I'll go get it.
Okay, go get it. Got it?
Yep.
All right, so let's hear your entire draft. And then after the draft, we should go back and listen to this and see how well you predicted the NFL draft. Because if you did it well, maybe that's what you should do for a living.
So there were no trade-ups or trade-downs. At number 1, Cleveland takes Josh Allen. I'm not going to say all the colleges because I don't know all the colleges. At number 2, the New York Giants select Sam Darnold. At number 3, the New York Jets select Josh Rosen. Number 4, Cleveland picks Bradley Chubb. Number 5, Denver picks Denzel Ward. Number 6, Indianapolis picks Saquon Barkley. Number 7, Tampa Bay picks up Quentin Nelson. At number 8, Chicago picks up Mike Hughes. Number 9, San Francisco picks Minkah Fitzpatrick. Number 10, Oakland picks up Tremaine Edmonds. Number 11, Miami picks Darius Geis. Number 12, Buffalo selects Calvin Ridley.
Who's Calvin Ridley?
Ranked best receiver in the draft by Mike Mayock.
Okay, keep going.
From Alabama. Number 13, Derwin James. Safety goes to Washington. Number 14, Green Bay selects running back Ronald Jones II. Number 15, Arizona picks quarterback Baker Mayfield. Number 16, Baltimore chooses linebacker Roquan Smith. Number 17, the Los Angeles Chargers choose edge rusher Marcus Davenport. Number 18, Seattle picks offensive lineman Connor Williams. Number 19, Dallas picks Dante Jackson. Number 20, Detroit picks Isaiah Wynn. 21, Cincinnati picks Orlando Brown. Number 22, Buffalo selects Mason Rudolph. Number 23, New England selects Michael McGlinchey. Number 24, Carolina chooses Cortland Sutton. Number 25, Tennessee picks Rashaan Evans. Number 25 is Rashaan Evans. Number 26, Isaiah Oliver. Number 27, New Orleans, Ronnie Harrison. 28, Pittsburgh, Hayden Hurst. 29, Jacksonville, Lamar Jackson. 30, Minnesota, Leighton Vander Esch. 31, New England, Harold Landry. Number 32, Philadelphia, Dante Pettis.
Awesome. Good job. Now we will see which ones are right and which ones are wrong. This is going to be very interesting. We'll see what your future and draft predictions are.
Yeah, if a couple players go off the board, I'm sure a couple players will go differently. Especially since there was no trade ups or trade downs, there's probably going to be a couple trades in the draft.
Maybe you call it perfect. Who knows? We'll find out in a little bit.
Yep.
That's why it's the draft. What else is going on? Anything new?
I did want to ask you kind of a question.
Okay.
So, remember the other day you sent Grandpa Mike that thing about what you think about your dad at different ages?
Yeah, I didn't send it to him, but I talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, so, what do you think about that?
I think that was a very accurate statement. I don't know. Although I never really knew my dad growing up, so it was a little bit different. So like the earlier levels don't really matter as much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I always just imagined what my dad would be like. I never really knew, you know. And then even after I started working for him, I really didn't know him for years after that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so like
because we kind of had like a worker relationship, not like a father-son thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So kind of like when you're young, your dad is like the best, and then once you're teenager to around your 20s, you're like your dad is crazy,
Yeah.
your dad isn't right, and then in your 30s you're like, you want your dad's advice, and in your early 40s you ask your dad what he thinks, and at 45 you wonder what he would have thought.
Yeah.
As if he passed away.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I always wanted to know what my dad's input was because I really didn't know what kind of person he was, or I'd only heard stories, and you never really know until you actually interact with the person, And I like to interact with people a lot, and I watch them for a long time to see how they are. And I wouldn't categorize my father and my relationship as like emotionally close, or if anything, I'd say we're emotionally distant. But we care about each other, We're family, and it's nice growing up to know who your father is,
Do you think wisdom comes with age?
I don't know if you'd call it wisdom. I think your perspectives change with age. What's important to you changes with age.
And you become more knowledgeable about different things.
You see more of the world. You become more jaded. A little bit more crusty, salty. Is that what you guys call crusty now? Salty? A little more salty.
What do you mean?
Like they're a little grumpier, a little more angry with life. We've had our heart broken more. We've failed more times. The people we've loved let us down more times.
Yeah.
We don't have too many more illusions of like perfect relationships, or we're jaded, broken people as we get older. But that gives us a little bit more toughness, I think.
It gives you toughness, and it gives you a more mature perspective on the world.
It gives you reality, I think. I think the more... It's not even an age thing. I think it's just growth, because I think it's how much pain and suffering you go through and how much of life you see, because you're very emotionally stable not emotionally stable, but you're very emotionally mature for your age.
Me?
Yeah, you see a lot of what's going on. We're pretty open with you, and we talk about people, and we expose you to, pretty much our belief system. And you take that, and it elevates your level of understanding more than other kids, I think, right? Do you feel that?
Kind of. I feel like I can, I'm not sure, but sometimes I can tell kind of what like mood that person is in, or if they're feeling anger or if they're happy. I mean, when you're happy, it's easy to tell, but sometimes I think I can kind of tell if they're trying to hide something.
Yeah, that's more empathetic. That means you understand the feelings. I think you're more likely to know what people's actions are going to be based on based on what you've observed of them. And that's kind of what I mean. When we're younger, we have higher hopes of people, and we think everyone's better than they really are.
Yeah.
By the time we're old, we see that everyone's a person. Everyone has flaws. But the best of us, still maintain hope and they don't turn crusty and salty, you know. Some of us, we need to take care of each other and help other people, and you don't see that. You see people get hurt and they stop trying to care, and they stop trying to help, and they stop trying to fix things that are wrong. And I see this over and over again. People get broken down trying to fight the same fight. They get burned out. You lose your passion a little bit because sometimes you just fail at what you want to do, you know. Like, I've pretty much failed at being a professional fighter. I'm trying my best. I want to be, you know, I wish I could have been in the UFC, but I failed, you know. But I still enjoy fighting, and I still have that grit and that grind. I like to fight, so I still do it. And my expectations and realities have changed a little bit, but I still love the sport, and I still want to fight. That's just an example. That's not like what I'm basing my life on, fighting, you know. Like, obviously my family is important. I feel like I'm pretty successful as a person, and I want to grow this podcast, and I want to grow, you know, commentating fights and writing, you know. I like all that stuff too. So I have other options. I don't just need fighting. I'm just using that for an example.
Kind of like you kind of just burn out, and you've experienced failure so many times. It's kind of, you just feel like it's not worth it.
Yeah, something like that. But like, let me put it this way. Most of the people I started training with now, they've retired from coaching. I'm still an active athlete. You know what I mean? I'm still fighting professional guys that are like 21, 22 that do this for a living. It's all they do: live, breathe, and fight. They don't have families. Don't have any of that other stuff.
And you're not even just coaching. You're still trying to maintain good shape and trying to be ready if a call ever comes.
Basically, what I'm saying is I haven't lost my passion for it. You know.
No.
And I feel like that way in life. I have a passion for helping people too, you know. I don't know if you pick up on that or not, but I like to make people happy. Like when we go to the store and I buy Doug a drink, or I make him laugh, you know, like that makes my day when I can make someone laugh. Or when we go to Rite Aid and I buy those guys drinks, or, you know, we hang out and I make them all laugh.
It's almost like it's what happens whenever you do something good. Because when you do something good, you feel the satisfaction. And almost everybody feels the satisfaction when you help somebody. And it takes a lot to take that away.
Yeah, I guess my main philosophy in life is just that life's a pretty shitty place. Bad things happen to everybody all the time, you know. And how you view what's going on in your life is kind of how your day goes. So if you're feeling a crappy day and you're feeling it, it's beating on you, and you let it beat on you, then you're going to have a crappy day, a crappy life, you know. If you can go around and try and make everyone's day, and just, you know, maybe you can turn someone's day around just by doing something nice sometimes.
And that satisfaction all comes back to you in the end, right?
I don't know if it's satisfaction. It's just why be an asshole when you can just be a good person, you know?
You feel better about yourself, almost.
Yeah, I guess I don't really think that's the purpose of it. I just think I like to see other people happy. It doesn't make me satisfied that I can make someone happy. I guess, I don't know. And maybe it makes me satisfied that I didn't ruin someone's day. I think that'd make me feel pretty bad.
So
there's been times where I ruined people's days on accident. I've always felt bad. I ruined Mom's day on accident a lot. I don't know. All right, it's getting late, man. Let's get out of here. What? You got anything else?
No.
All right, cool. That's it for today. Caveman out. You can say goodbye one of these times too. After I say it, you could be like butterfly out or force is done, something, you know. I gotta be so quiet all the time. All right, I love you, man.
Love you too.